And welcome to the Part-Time Nerd Podcast with me, your host, Alan. And joining me today is Rapid Dave. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, man. Feeling great.
Feeling great, feeling good. All right. So here we are, Star Trek, Season 1, Episode 5, The Enemy Within. I heard a rumor that this was a tough watch for you, buddy.
I mean, actually, it was fine. You know,
Okay.
the thing within, I assume it was when Vader was dealing with his own demons.
Okay. Wrong
And
thing. Wrong thing.
it
Abort.
was a hard watch. You got a lot of Kirk, right, which isn't bad. Getting a lot of
You got
Kirk,
two
not a
Kirks.
terrible thing. A lot of close-ups, and when he was like, I guess they're down on a planet, right? They're exploring. They're trying to get some stuff together, bring it back to the ship. There's a problem. Scotty's got a problem with the beam. And they're beaming back people split in two, like duplicates, but one's like a meaner variation of whatever the original was. So,
Right.
if you've ever seen Rick and Morty, it's like the toxic one where they remove the toxic thing, but they're still alive. But
Oh man.
it was a lot going on, and then that dog in that stupid costume.
The dog-like creature. So you get the dog thing that splits, and Captain Kirk that splits, and right away though I did notice the like little warning thing that you had, like where it tells you, this episode, whatever, and it said alcohol use and sexual content, and I was like, oh, okay, what do we got going on here?
I do like those warnings. Like, I'm like, all right, now what do we got? And I start kind of, But you're right. There is an aggressive scene that you're about to chat about.
Yeah. So first of all, evil Kurt, he needs his brandy. He's like, give me the brandy, doc. He's like, nah, we're good now, man. It's like 7 a.m, bro. Let's just chill, right? And he just starts demanding it and yelling it. He's like, give me the brandy. He's like, God, take the freaking brandy, dude. Here you go.
It's like a jug. It's quite a bit of liquid. It's a large container.
It was huge. But yeah, so now Kirk's walking around drinking out of the jug. And who's he stumble upon? The old Janice.
He was like, she's always in these. I'm like, she's a member of the crew. Kirk's always in them.
Right? We'll see you complaining about Spock being in the episode. Like, come on.
I think she's the most attacked female member, I think, in all the series. She was attacked by that weirdo in episode 2. She got handled up on by him. And then by him. Charlie. I think his name was Charlie.
It was Charlie, yeah.
And she's a victim of a lot. They need to turn the ship around and just drop her off and let HR take over, because there is a lot of wild stuff going on with Janice.
I feel bad for her. Compensation and some time off is what's going on.
You're absolutely right. You're right about that, man. She's gonna
get like a lawyer up and just
lawyer up.
But yeah, and you've got this whole thing with like the good side of Kurt and the bad side. And the good side, all of a sudden he can't make decisions and he's unsure of everything. And he's like, well, Spock, we need to tell the crew. And Spock's like, you can't tell the crew. You tell the crew, and then you've lost the crew. You're the captain. You have to be perfect. You have to be okay. That tells me you're hanging on by a thread, bro. Like, one little thing goes wrong, and you've lost the crew, and it's going to be mutiny. Come on, man! Like, you get some control in. I expected better of Kirk, right? Like,
there's some other stuff going on that we're not privy to. There's some information the past that we have no idea.
Yeah, it's and you got Spock's like, you know what's going to happen. I'm just going to have to take control. And so Spock's licking his chops like he's ready to take over. And it's just like, man,
that's Captain Spock to you, sir. Take him for the brig. Get this loony out of here.
Yeah, and you got poor Sulu and the crew. They're down on this planet, and the temp's going to just keep going down to where it typically gets down to negative 175 degrees. And they have like the thinnest blankets ever trying to stay warm. Like,
here's my question. When I first heard him call up, he was like, we're hanging in there. It's negative 20 degrees. I'm like, at that rate, if that degrees, aren't your eyeballs frozen? Like, you're dead, right? Because it's negative 20.
I mean, I don't think
Maybe
so.
I misheard him.
I mean, I've been in below 0 temps before. I'd like to say somewhere close to the 20s, maybe a little bit colder. Up north it gets with that wind chill and things like that, but you don't stay outside long. You keep moving. But yeah, and then just Sulu's just beating him down, like calling him like every 5 minutes. Hey, just so you know, it's getting colder. And Kurt's like, I know, bro. Like, I'm doing what I can. You calling me nonstop, nagging me is not
I got my
helping.
own
Okay.
problems, man. I got my own freaking problems. And last thing you need from the previous episodes of Sulu running crazy with a damn sword, that's the
Right?
last thing you need is the split Sulu.
Oh, dude, I would love a split Sulu. That'd be awesome. Running
A
around,
whole spin-off
Kazaa!
show. A whole spin-off of Zulu. Split Zulu, yeah.
But yeah, and then the transporter goes down. You have Kirk fighting Kirk a couple different times, and then he's shooting at him, and they damage the transporter even more. And he's like, "Well, it's going to take like a week to fix this, bro." He's like, "That's what? No, this isn't going to work."
Oh my god. It,
They-
it, it, going back and talking about it, and we're having fun with it, but it was like, seriously, it took me 3 times to get through it. Like, I'd pause it and come back or whatever. Um, it 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 was a slow moving, but yeah, the close-ups of Kirk with that eyeliner on and him sweating and panting. You're starting to get your cadence though.
a
You're
little
starting
bit.
it's starting to come out a little bit. I meant to ask you, I don't know if you haven't told me yet. How many did anybody die in this episode?
Just the dog-like creature,
That was the
whatever
only
that
one.
was. That was the only thing that died because they tried sending it back. They're like, we've got it fixed. It's cool. So we're gonna send the dogs back
To
and then
test
bring
it
it
on an
back,
animal.
and then they're gonna be good. And then yeah, R.I.P. dog creature
Mm,
thing.
mm.
Um,
Yeah,
so
dog.
that's all we had die in this episode. But it's just and poor Janice is conflicted about what's going on, and she's like, I won't tell anybody. You don't have to do all this, and I'm just like, geez, oh Pete's. And there's definitely some history there between the two of them, right? Between Kirk and Janice, you
Yeah,
can
he was even
tell.
like, "You don't mind if I come by your cabin later, do you?" And,
Yeah,
I was like, "Jesus Christ. Like, what am I watching?" All these videos that we have to watch at work,
and
when
this is it,
you're like a new hire, it's because of all the S that people did back in the 60s and 70s. We're paying the price.
right?
Every time I'm sitting around watching, I go, "Who the hell acts like this at work?" And hello?
Captain James T. Kirk when he's split in two, and there's an evil version of him.
Yeah,
Uh,
evil Kirk, evil Kirk.
evil But yeah, and it's just I had fun with the episode. I think what your problem is the first 4 episodes have started to raise the bar for you, right? And so now you've got this higher standard which you're holding the series by, and then you have one that's just it's okay, but again, it's for me. I look to the comedy of it, the craziness of the two Kirks, and when they're fighting each other. Just anytime anybody's fighting anybody in this, it's hilarious because it's like a wrestling match, and every once in a while someone slaps somebody, and you're like,
My biggest I'm a fan of move is the double hand bring it down.
oh yes,
When they
which
when they break that out, I'm like, I'm in. I couldn't be more in.
am I watching WWE right now? What's going on here? We,
Waiting for someone to break out the claw or something. You know what I mean? Like,
you know what's gonna happen at some point in time. They're gonna face someone who's like trying to like rip somebody's heart out, right? A la, Indiana Jones, where he's just going in there with it, and
oh
Kirk's
god.
gonna be struggling to fight him off, and he's gonna push him away and drop the double fist on him, and you're just gonna lose your ass. Like,
Oh Jesus.
but again, I'm still having fun with it. They end up figuring things out. Spock ends up figuring some things out, and they get the transporter fixed, and they save the day again. They get. I figured we were going to have a few crew members die that were on the planet. We knew we weren't losing Sulu, but there's a few other. But they said that they were all good. Everybody was fine, so we don't have to add to really the death toll other than the dog creature, whatever he was. Uh,
Mhm.
so R.I.P. dog creature.
R.I.P.
Moment of silence for dog creature. All right, there we go. Um, but yeah, another for me, another fun episode. I enjoyed it. Um, Looking forward to the next one. I'm not at a point to where I'm dreading watching or anything like that. I'm enjoying it and I'm having fun. So
Nice.
Anything else on this one?
Nah, we'll see you next week.
All right, guys. Hey, as always, like, share, comment, follow, subscribe. If there's anything you want us to watch, shoot us over an email, parttimenerdpodcast@gmail.com. Until next time, we'll talk to you guys later. Deuces.